Hello, welcome to our time of wondering with Downtown Disciples. I'm Pastor Debbie Griffin. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and it is my blessing and joy to be the pastor of Downtown Disciples. Downtown Disciples are a progressive faith community doing justice, loving kindness, and walking humbly together. We are LGBTQ affirming, and we proclaim Black Lives Matter. We say that every time we gather because it matters to us. I'm so glad you're here with me this afternoon. We're taking a Monday afternoon spiritual break for children, but not just little children. We're all God's children. So this is for children of all ages. And if you are joining us today, I hope that you will let us know, that you will chat with us, because when we wonder together about God and the stories of God, when we wonder together and sing together and pray together, something mysterious and wonderful happens inside us and all around the world. So I'm just going to take a peek here for a moment and make sure that you can hear me okay, and that I can hear you, or I can see your chats. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. You sing with God, which is one of the ways that we wonder with God. And I am struggling here to see that we are live, although my phone tells me that we are. So I'm just gonna take one more second here to see what's going on. And while I do that, how about if you chat with me how you're doing? Oh, there we are. Okay, now my computer was evidently just a little bit slow today. So I can see that we are live, and it looks like some of you are here with us. Ashley and Eleonora are here. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Eleonora. And Robin is here. Hi, Robin. So glad you're here. And hopefully others will join us too. But you know, where two or more are gathered together, God is with us. And the great thing about worshiping on Facebook Live is you can share this with your friends, and they can watch it anytime, so that they can also have a spiritual break in their day. So we're going to start out by talking with God, by singing to God. We'll sing a couple of songs that I know you know. And the first one is Come By Here. We're going to ask God to come by here and be with us in our time together. So we're going to pray with our body and with our voice, with our heart and our mind and our soul. So we'll do Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya. And then we'll do Someone's Crying, God. Then we'll do Someone's Singing, God. And Someone's Praying, God. Are you ready? I hope you'll sing at home with me. Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, oh God, Kumbaya. Oh God, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, God, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, God, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, God, Kumbaya. Oh God, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, God, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, God, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, God, Kumbaya. Oh God, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, God, kumbaya. Someone's praying, God, kumbaya. Someone's praying, God, kumbaya. Oh God, kumbaya. Kumbaya is African for come by here. And even though we know that God is always with us, it's good for us to think about inviting the Spirit of God into our hearts and our minds, because it makes us more aware of God's presence with us. So we'll sing another one. How about we do, Oh God, we adore you, and we lay our lives before you. So the way that we do that is we do, Oh God, we adore you, and we lay our lives before you. How we love you. And then we'll do, Jesus, we adore you. And then the third verse is, Spirit, we adore you. You ready? Oh God, we adore you, and we lay our lives before you. How we love you. Jesus, we adore you, and we lay our lives before you. How we love you. Spirit, we adore you, and we lay our lives before you. How we love you. There are lots of ways that we love and adore God. Jesus said one of the best ways is to love one another. So it's time for us to have a story. And this is one of the ways that we love one another, is by listening to stories about God and wondering about them together. So after the story about time, we'll have a time that you can chat and tell me your wonderings, because I want to learn from you. That's one of the ways that I love my neighbor, is by remembering that I don't know everything and that I have so much to learn from you. And so we can wonder together about God and about how time and how we spend our time is important. There are lots of ways to tell time, and there are even lots of different kinds of time. So maybe you have a clock in your house that tells time. It might even have an alarm on it to remind you of things. Maybe you have a clock on your stove or on a microwave or on the wall. One of the ways that a lot of people tell time is on their phone. So that's why I set an alarm on my phone, because I wanted to show you that we have lots of ways of telling time. And it's the way that I tell time mostly is with my phone. Another way we tell time is with a bell. So maybe you've heard church bells ring before when it's time for church to start. If you're part of Downtown Disciples, you know that we ring the bell when it's time for worship. Also, in our story time, we ring the bell when it's time to wonder together. You can even tell time just by looking outside at God's beautiful and glorious creation. We can tell time by the sun and the moon and the stars. I wonder how you tell time, how you know it's time for things. Even my animals, my dogs, know how to tell time. They know when it's time for them to eat. They know when it's time to go on a walk. And they know how to tell time by watching me. the church has a special way of telling time. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. I have a great big clock. So I hope you can see my clock. It's a different looking clock than the one you might have in your home, but it does have an arrow that points to the right time. You might notice on my clock there are different colors. The church clock tells us about God's time. So there's chronos time, or chronological time, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and morning, afternoon, and evening, and the first, second, third, fourth, fifth day of each month. There's also something called Kairos time. Kairos time is God's time. It's a Greek word, and it really means the best time, the perfect time, the most opportune time is called Kairos time. So this clock is sort of a clock about Kairos time, or God's time. And on this clock, we have different colors. We have green for ordinary time, or what we call growing time. So this means that it's just a regular time in the church. And as you can see, there's a lot of green on our clock because there's lots of regular time. But it's also Kairos time because it's a perfect time to be with God. It's a perfect time for justice. It's a perfect time for peace. It's a perfect time for love. You can see that there's also some purple time. And purple time is the time when we get ready for Christmas. It's Advent. On some calendars, it might be blue. And I bet you can guess what this star is for. That is Christmas. So the white with the star is Christmas. The time for us to remember how God came to us as a vulnerable little baby and grew up to be a person just like you and me, a human, and how God lives in humanity. Then there's more green growing time because there's a lot to grow and think about after Christmas. Then there's some more purple time, which is the time we get ready for Easter. We call this time Lent in the church. And then this is Easter, the time that we remember. You can see the cross on Easter. So we remember that people are violent and do things that they shouldn't do. And so people killed Jesus because he was making people uncomfortable. But that wasn't the end of the story. God made sure that Jesus lived again, and he's still alive in you and me. So Easter is here. And then we have 6 Sundays of Easter. Did you know that Easter isn't just one Sunday? Then we have a fun day. It's called Pentecost, and it's a red day. On Pentecost, which also is Downtown Disciples' birthday, we celebrate how the Spirit of God, the Spirit of Christ, is alive in the world and has been set loose in the world, in you and me and all of creation. And then there's some more ordinary time, more time for us to grow. So what time is it today? Each of these represents a Sunday, a little Easter, a time for worship. There are 13 Sundays of ordinary time to get to today. or this coming Sunday after Pentecost. So we're on the 13th week after Pentecost. So we'll count time. This is Pentecost, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So our arrow goes like that to show that's where we are. This Sunday is the 13th Sunday after our birthday, after Pentecost. So I'm wondering about how you tell time in your house. And I'm wondering how you know when it's your birthday. I'm wondering when you know how it's time that God is with you. I'm wondering, what's your favorite time of day? I'm wondering, what's your favorite time of the year? I wonder if on this Sunday you'll be with us, worshiping with us either here on Facebook or at Drive-In Church on Sunday at 11 a.m. I wonder what you're wondering about. I wonder if this is your favorite season of time, summer, or when is your favorite season? I wonder when it's time for you to take a nap, when it's time for you to play. I wonder, when is it time for you to love? What are you wondering? I'm going to take a look because my computer just died. So I'm going to look somewhere else and see what you are wondering. And I wonder if it's time to let Bob and Lassie come and say hello. There we go, I'm back. So let's see, what are you wondering about? Oh, Eleonora's favorite time is playing in the snow. Do you make snow people? Do you ride a sled? Do you make snow angels? Oh, it looks like Eleonora has a great question. So Eleonora is wondering about Easter, the cross, where we talked about, I said how Jesus died, but now he's still alive. And Eleonora had such a great question. She wants to know, if Jesus is dead, how is he still with us? So that's a great question, Eleonora. Jesus is still with us in a lot of different ways. Right after he died, some of his disciples saw him and heard him, but he didn't really look the same. They knew it was him, but sometimes he looked like a gardener. Sometimes he looked like a stranger on the road. Sometimes he even looked like himself. So he was still with them even after he died. And he's still with us now because we have his stories that make his voice come alive for us. We have his spirit that lives inside us and inside other people. And one of the most important ways that Jesus is still alive is in the community of the body of Christ. That means when all of us come together, all of us who love Jesus' stories and try to live our life by following him, when we come together, we become his body, his arms and legs and feet in the world. And when we love like he loves, we're keeping him alive. And when we teach what he taught, we're keeping him alive. So Jesus is alive, Eleonora, in you and in our church and in all the people who follow his way. And we can talk more about that another time. But thank you so much for wondering about that, because that is a great question that we all wonder about a lot. Well, it's time. It's time for me to see if Lassie and Bob want to come and say hello, and then it'll be time for us to say goodbye. So I'm going to open the door and see if they'll come. Lassie, Bob, want to come say hi? Come on. Come say hi. Here they are. Here's Bob. He likes to say hi. Here's Lassie. I hope that you have a great day and that your time is full of the love of God. May you go in the peace and the power and the love of the one who loves you best. And may you be blessed to be a blessing. Amen. Okay, let's go shut it off.